This is a story of Christmas. Long, long ago, on a cold, bleak Christmas Eve, a grumpy old man named Ebenezer Scrooge sat busy in his office counting out his money and keeping close watch on his clerk, Bob Cratchit, through the open door. Now, Scrooge was such a mean man, he couldn't share the joy and spirit of giving, which everyone around him felt at Christmas time. And when his nephew came by to wish him a Merry Christmas, all Scrooge could say was, "Come back." And he refused the young man's warm invitation to Christmas dinner. When it grew dark on that frosty Christmas Eve, old Scrooge went home to his empty and gloomy house and locked himself in. As he sat by the fire before going to bed, he was startled by an apparition.
I'm back. I'm seeing things.
But in an instant, Scrooge realized that standing before him was the ghost of Jacob Marley, his former business partner who had died on Christmas Eve just 7 years ago.
Hear me, Ebenezer Scrooge. I am now doomed to walk forever over the world among my fellow men, because I shunned them and showed them little kindness in life. But I have come to warn you that you still have a chance to become a good man. At the stroke of one, on the next 3 nights, you will be visited by 3 spirits. Heed these, gentle spirit Scrooge, and you still will have a chance. Heed them well, heed them, heed them.
On the following night at exactly 1 o'clock, a spirit appeared.
I am the spirit of Christmas past. Come with me and see yourself as a child and younger man.
Scrooge saw how selfish he'd been toward all his loved ones in his youth, how he had cared for nothing but riches, and how he'd grown more and more greedy with age. On the second night, the clock struck and the spirit of Christmas present appeared.
Come with me, Scrooge, to the humble home of your clerk, Bob Cratchit.
It was a cheerful sight to see the Cratchit family at their Christmas dinner. Bob and his 4 children cried out in delight as Mrs. Cratchit brought in the steaming plum pudding with holly stuck on top. But most of all, old Scrooge, standing invisible with the spirit, noticed Tiny Tim, who wore braces and carried a crutch, and sat close to his father's side. After dinner, Bob Cratchit proposed a toast to Mr. Scrooge. But Mrs. Cratchit said, "Oh, who would want to drink the health of such a horrible, stingy old man as Mr. Scrooge?" But this was Christmas, and so they all drank a toast. And Tiny Tim said,
God bless us, everyone.
but old Scrooge saw their faces look glum for the first time at the thought of wishing him a Merry Christmas. At the stroke of 1 on the 3rd night, the spirit of Christmas yet to come appeared, and bade Ebenezer Scrooge,
Walk with me through the city. See the changes in the shops and shopkeepers. Listen, they're talking about you, about mean, bitter old Scratch who has just died.
But when Scrooge realized they were talking about him, he cried,
No, take me somewhere else.
Next the spirit led him to Bob Cratchit's house, and Scrooge saw the empty chair that poor little Tiny Tim had sat in.
Tell me, gentle spirit, are these the shadows of things that will really happen, or are they things that only may happen?
The spirit was silent.
Good spirit, I've learned a lesson. I see now that I may find happiness only by kindness to others. You have my word. I'll honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year.
morning, Ebenezer Scrooge awoke a changed man. He jumped out of bed, quickly dressed in his best clothes, stopped at the poulterer's to send the Cratchit family a huge turkey.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
He cried everywhere he went as he made his way to his nephew's house for dinner.
Merry Christmas, Bob, my good fellow. This Christmas I have a special gift for you. A raise in salary.
Well, thereafter, Ebenezer became a good friend to everyone, especially to Tiny Tim, who lived on. Scrooge's heart was filled with joy and laughter, and it was always said of him that he knew how to keep the Christmas well.